Hi, my name is Sierra Simone. I am an LA-based actress and writer, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the film Bring Them Down. This film stars Christopher Abbott and Barry Keoghan. I've been waiting to see this for a while because I'm a big fan of Christopher Abbott. I will see anything that he's in. I've loved him since he was on the show Girls on HBO. And it wasn't until, like, in the show, if you've seen it, like from season 1 to, I don't know, season 4 or 5, how long they went on, he really evolves. And watching him evolve in the show, I was like, oh my God, this guy is a phenomenal actor. And then I started following his career after that. Well, I'm gonna try to not do spoilers. I just want to talk about the things I liked about the film. I would rate this. I'm gonna rate it on Letterboxd as 3 stars. I mean the actors are phenomenal. All of them are cast great. Um, like I said, I love Christopher Abbott, but I'm gonna try to not be biased on that. I think he can do no wrong. And the great thing about him is that he's such, like, usually such a subtle actor that really you're reading his face, like his mannerisms. Like when he's not saying anything, he's saying so much. And to me, that's a great actor. He can definitely amp it up when he wants to. Like he can amp up psychopath when he has to. But this film is really about, they're in Ireland. I love an Irish accent. And it's about, mostly it's based around men. They do touch on women a bit. Like there's a couple mothers. The main Christopher Abbott's mom, at the beginning they show like a flashback, and it took me a while to realize that it was even a flashback scene until later in the movie. I was like, oh, touch on the mother at the beginning, something horrific happens, and it's like later, I don't know, it's probably 20 plus years later, the main story. They're rivals farms, and they don't really touch on why they hate each other so much. Like there's these two families, Christopher Abbott and his father, and Barry, his father and his mother. And you can see that there's a history between Barry's mother and Christopher Abbott's character. There's some sort of like love or ex-love there, and I figured that out later. I'm like, oh, that was the flashback scene. But clearly she has deep feelings for him. We're not sure what he feels. It doesn't matter. It's not about that love. It's really, to me, this movie is about generations of men raising angry men. That's what I'm seeing, because there's a few times in the film that I yelled and that I'm frustrated, and I'm like, why is he not doing anything? Why are they allowing this? But it's really, and we all experience this, that we're taught a certain way and we have this deep love for our parents or whatever. We want to please them, we do what they say, or they've raised us to be a certain way. That's what both of the families are going through. Like, I'm sure generations of men teaching their sons to be a certain way, and therefore both of these families have like this anger and this hate, and it's probably even deeper than what we're saying. It's clearly deeper than the situation, which is why what happens in the story escalates. Mostly it's Barry's father. I can't recall his name. I should have looked it up. His father like has this hate for Christopher Abbott, and they're really doing something to him that obviously is not right. And you can see Christopher Abbott processing what's going on and his frustration rising. And therefore he starts to react to it. And it really ping pongs back and forth. One does one thing to the other. And yeah, it escalates. And it's really, to me, it's Barry and Christopher. I don't want to say they're the victims in this, but really they're kind of doing what's expected of them from their fathers. Yeah, like Barry apparently was raised to, like, I don't know, he's like, I guess rebellious in a certain way. And I think he's supposed to be a teenager. I have thoughts on that because Barry looks like a 35-year-old man. Barry and Christopher Abbott look the same age, but Christopher Abbott is supposed to be the same age as Barry's mom, I'm assuming, because I think they dated when they were younger. That casting, like Barry does have a youthfulness about him, like the way he acts and stuff. But when I see him on screen, I see a 35-year-old man. So it's really hard and confusing when they put him in these super young roles. He's a great actor. He can pull it off. But on camera, I'm seeing a 35-year-old man. If anything, he probably looks older than Christopher Abbott, who, according to the movie, is probably supposed to be the same age as his parents. But whatever. I thought it was a pretty good film. And it really left me thinking about the dynamics of children and their parents and the expectations and how we're raised to be who we are, and how kids live their lives based on the expectations of their parents, whether they're said or not. Try not to give spoilers. I'm not sure where I'm gonna go with this review channel, where I'm gonna try to not spoil, but I do want to give my honest reviews. I would give it 3 stars. Phenomenal acting. I think the movie left you frustrated and stunned. They knew what they were doing. They wanted you to feel that way. The writer and director was Chris Andrews, and the cinematographer was Nick Cook. Also, I really liked the way this film looked. Like, it's based in Ireland, obviously, so it really looks and feels like Ireland. I don't know what time of the year it is, but it's overcast. It looks cold sometimes, and everything's like well lit. Like, even at night, there's some night scenes. I mean, I can see everything clearly. You ever watch a film and then you're like, there's like a night scene or a dark scene and you can't see anything, and it's kind of frustrating? Not in this movie. Even in the night scenes, I could see everything I needed to see. The ending left you imagining what's gonna happen, and in a way wanting more, but kind of being relieved that it was finally, the film was over, because the story is gonna keep going. I would recommend it, if not just for the actors. I freaking love Christopher Abbott. Barry's awesome too. He's always been awesome. I remember watching him in, what is that movie? Something about a sacred deer with what's the other Irish guy? I'm going blank right now. But yeah, I remember watching him years ago and I was like, this guy's a weirdo and I like him. He's great. It's interesting. I'm still thinking about it. I watched it not long ago, but it has me still thinking about society and men and women in society. I could go on and on about that, but I'm going to try to keep this one short. All right, thank you for watching. I am going to link my letterbox and my Instagram. Yeah, tell me if you've seen this movie or if you plan on watching it. I love a weird indie film and I love an Irish accent. So thanks. Thanks for watching.